Hey guys, Mrs. Z here. I have come in from doing things outside to wrap up pumpkin season. Fall is almost over and winter is approaching, and the last thing I do before I call it winter is to bring in some pumpkins that I have saved so that I can cook them and I can freeze it, and then I can make yummy treats with them in the wintertime. So this morning I brought in 3 pumpkins. I usually cook any smaller pumpkin that will fit in my oven. I don't worry about getting a pie pumpkin. I just get a pumpkin that'll fit in my oven. I bring it in from outside. I wash it in the sink to get all that dirt off. And then this is what I do with it. About an hour ago, I set them in my oven, 3 of them. Those are the trios. I just set them in the oven on a cookie sheet, and I've got my oven on 250 degrees, and I am just going to let those 3 beautiful little pumpkins cook until I can stick a fork in them. And I'm not sure how long it's going to take, but it's going to at least take a couple of hours. So I'll just keep checking on them, and I'll poke them with a fork, and when that fork goes in and out easily, I'll know they're done, and then they're ready to work up. This is the easy way to cook pumpkins. I find if I try and peel that hard orange outer layer off, it's hard to work with because they're tough. But if you cook them first like this, it's easy to work with. So we'll let them cook, and we'll be back in a little bit. Okay guys, it's been 2 hours and 15 minutes that those pumpkins have been cooking in the oven. Let's see if they're done. I've got my fork. We're gonna just stick it in there and see if it goes in easily and comes out easily. Does it? Does it ever? So I think they're done, and we're gonna take them out and we're gonna let them cool. So, here we go. Let's put it over here. And this is heavy, so I gotta be careful not to burn myself and not to drop them. And that's it. That's all we have to do for now, because we've got to let them cool. If we try to work them up now, we're going to burn our hands. So I'll be back. Well, guys, while I've been working this afternoon, my pumpkins have been cooling. So now it is time to get them worked up to put in the freezer. Remember, we're doing this the easy way. They've already been cooked, so they're easy to cut. So we can just rip off that stem like it's nothing. Look at that. Look at the inside of that pumpkin. Just the outer skin. That's all we're taking off. And it just peels like a halo, one of those little clementines. I think instead of doing that though, I'm going to cut it in half. And just do it a 1/4 at a time maybe, or maybe even an 1/8 at a time. Look at that. Lovely, lovely. This is the outer skin, and this is the meat of the pumpkin, the part that we eat. So we have to get that skin off, and we're going to clean out all the seeds and gunky stuff, because we don't need that. You can cook the seeds, but I normally don't, but a lot of people do. So I'll leave that up to you. We're just after that meat. This part right here, that's the part we want to cook with. So I am going to cut that into 8s. We'll get all that gunky stuff off of there. stringy, so you just try to get all the strings off as best you can that go along with the seeds. Look at that. It's kind of gooey. Okay. I've got my blender here, and I'm going to put that meat part that I showed you right underneath the skin. I think I'm going to get a smaller knife. This is too big for this job. We're going to put little chunks of that meat into the, it sounds kind of weird calling it meat. It's not the meat we think of that comes from animals, but the meat of the pumpkin that we're going to eat. And that may not be the correct term to use, but that's what I'm going to call it. Oh, I didn't get the knife I was wanting. Here, I'm going to get a little one. Just peel that skin off. We don't need that. There you go. That worked a lot better with a smaller knife. I have noticed that certain varieties of pumpkins are stringier than others. But it all cooks up nicely. And it's good to eat. And they do have different flavors too, the different varieties of pumpkin. And honestly, I can't remember what kind of pumpkin, what variety this one is. These are. But they're gonna work. There you go. And you see what I'm putting in that blender? Just the meat part. Now I'm going to add just a little water because it will not blend up without a little water. Just enough to help the blender chop it up, cream it up, I guess. I have to push it down because it doesn't want to go down by itself at first. That should do it. Looks pretty creamy to me. There you have it. That's our pumpkin from a pumpkin. Our creamed pumpkin. This is the part we're going to cook with. But for now, I don't want to cook it just yet. I'm going to save out 2 cups because tomorrow I'm going to make some pumpkin bread. Pumpkin bread is my favorite thing to do with homemade pumpkin. So I will save out 2 cups, and the rest we're going to freeze in freezer bags in 2-cup proportions because a double batch of my pumpkin bread takes 2 cups. Therefore, I can just pull it out of the freezer anytime I want to make pumpkin bread, and it's good to go. Pretty sharp, pretty convenient. I have learned I will not do it if it's not easy. So, we got to make it as easy as possible. There it goes. And there is, hey, that's not too shabby. 2 cups exactly. Ready for 2 loaves of pumpkin bread. We might just use some of my good pecans in my pumpkin bread. Remember my last video? I'll post the link where we picked up pecans. We are probably going to put some pumpkins in that some pecans in that pumpkin bread, and it'll make it taste extra good. So I'm going to get busy, and I'm going to show you how I put it in the bag. Got this cool little gadget to help me get it in the bag without making a mess. How many loaves of pumpkin bread do you suppose we're going to get out of these 3 small pumpkins? What's your guess? Well, you go ahead and guess, and when we're all finished, we'll see how close you got. There we go. I've already labeled my baggie. We're good to go. Ready for the freezer. 2 cups of pumpkin from our pumpkin crop in 2021. All right, let's get busy and do the rest up. I got 1 pumpkin out of the 3 done, and I wanted to show you how many bags of pumpkin I was able to get from 1 small pumpkin. So let's count them, shall we? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So 5 bags with 2 cups in them, and each bag will make 2 loaves of pumpkin bread. Do the math. How many loaves of pumpkin bread can I get from 1 pumpkin? That's a hard one. You can do it. 2 times 5 equals... 10. 10 loaves of pumpkin bread. Yum, and I can taste them now, can't you? It's going to be tasty, tasty, tasty. I think it would be a good idea for me to share my pumpkin bread recipe with you. Would you like that? Check out the description here with this video, and I will stick that recipe on there. And you will like it, guaranteed. Hey guys, we processed that pumpkin for the freezer yesterday, but I didn't put it all in the freezer. I saved that 2 cups to make some pumpkin bread early this morning. I mixed it up and put it in the oven, and then I baked it while we were doing some work. And we're going to try it out and see if it's any good. Wheatie, would you like a piece of pumpkin bread?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, come on in here and get you a piece. Remember that 2 cups makes 2 loaves of pumpkin bread. And here we go. We're going to give that other loaf to a friend, and we're going to see if this fella, what he thinks of it. Come on in and give us a taste test, Lamont.
Very good.
What would you give it, a 10?
If you like pumpkin bread.
Thank you, baby. Hey guys, I'm going to give me a piece. You come on over and I'll share a piece with you. Guys, you give it a try. Make you some pumpkin bread out of those pumpkins that you're going to throw away. Thanks so much for joining us. You have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you next time.